I want you to imagine this. You're in high school and all of your friends talking about cigarettes. They hyping it so much you can't even understand why they're talking about, and you're on your way to get one. That was the exact situation I was in. Fast forward to 6 years ago, I was just a high school student, didn't know what to do in his life, and stumbled upon a group of friends who's talking about something. I wanted to join them around because they were talking so passionately and I want to be around them for sure. But the topic was something that I didn't know. They were talking about a thing called cigarettes and I didn't understand a single bit of it since I was an athlete. The only thing I understand out of this conversation is you smoke it, you get dizzy, and dizziness is so much good feeling it. And I kinda got curious because one of the most things I need in this world is relaxation. I was having a very stressful life back then, exercising for 8 hours a day, going to school for 8 hours, sleeping for 8 hours. I didn't have any time for myself, so I kinda think cigarettes, this could help me to make a time for myself. So I immediately rushed to the nearest shopping mall to get one because one, I was dying from curiosity, two, I wanted to be relaxed anything more than in this world. I wanted it so bad, it literally made me to spend my lost money. I was gonna use that money in the lunchtime to not starve to death, of course, but instead I chose to buy one pack. As soon as I get it on my hands on, I immediately rushed to the forest because I didn't want anyone to see me. I know deep down in my heart I was doing something wrong, but I wanted to have relaxation in my life so much it didn't matter for a single bit. I even started to feel agitated at this point, thinking in my head, oh, you don't even have time for yourself, silly, and started to even walk faster to achieve that relaxation. Once I head to the forest, I pulled the pack outside my back, opened it up and lit one. At the first glance, it looked like nothing was happening, but after 5 minutes, oh my god, literally all of my body felt numb after this point. Even a moment came where I couldn't even stand up, so I just have to cross my legs and sit. And luckily I had a beautiful forest view with me and I was grateful for the first time. I was there by myself without anyone's responsibility, having a time with myself and just watching the beautiful forest view with this tobacco stick I got. Finally I could understand the friends who's talking about cigarettes and hyping up the dizziness so much. They were right about it. They were right. I mean, just imagine a thing you just smoke for 5 minutes and relax you so much that you couldn't even stand up. That kinda sounds like a miracle, isn't it? So this thought made me to start wherever I go. Whether I was in a party having fun with my friends or whether I was chatting with a girl in a date, I made myself sure to light one cigarette before and after it. Even sometimes I lighted a cigarette during the conversations, which repulsed a lot of people, but I didn't care at that point. The only thing I care is I want to feel dizzy so much and I was ready to do whatever it takes. Even I started to sacrifice the gym workouts, basketball routines, swimming practices, and the only thing I started to do is lighting a cigarette because I wanted to feel relaxed. But unfortunately I wasn't getting the relaxation feeling like I imagined in my mind. I was feeling much more stressed than ever and literally my body couldn't tolerate cigarettes. I was coughing all the time, having mucus in my throat, and I'm wondering what's going on in my life either. But I was sure about one thing, which is I wanted to feel dizzy so much. So I ended up changing my current cigarette, which is Long Parliament, to something much more heavier, to Marlboro Red Click. And even I started to smoke more. Finally I get that dizziness back for what? 5 minutes or something, and after a couple of cigarettes followed, I wasn't feeling that feeling anymore. I was just literally by myself, suffering, having the darkest skin, stressed out, and didn't know what to do in his life. Also, I spent all of my money into this, so neither I could buy any resource to improve myself or do anything I want, basically. I just turned into a slave which has a cigarette in his hand completely and doesn't do anything in his life. But even at this point I insist I wanted to smoke more. I even transferred to something much more heavier at this point, but it didn't solve any issue in that. It made me to lose so much. I was about to marry in 3 months and I lost the girl because she didn't want to be a guy who smokes. I lost $10,000 as a teenager because I spent all of my savings into cigarettes. I lost the natural smell of my body and right now I was smelling like shit. Even I tried to cover with perfumes, leaf, mouthwashes, but it didn't solve anything in that. And I just become an empty shell of a human for what? For literally what? For dizziness feeling? It wasn't worth it, but I was still chasing it after. But literally one moment came and I couldn't help myself to stay in this trap anymore. 3 years ago, I was sitting in my balcony and watching the blue dark sky out of it. I was lighting another cigarette at this point and I couldn't help myself to think, who did I become? Because I used to be an athlete surrounded with so many people, getting attraction for women, getting respect from guys, and I just I was just a smoker at this point. I didn't had anything in my hands. Neither I was an athlete, neither had my savings. Everything was gone. Everything was gone to tobacco. And this thought made me to quit. On the first of 3 days, I expected myself I was going to crave cigarettes like other smokers, but I didn't. I just passed those days like a child's play and never go back to cigarette afterwards. But I only stay with saving myself. There's so many smokers out there who's waiting for our help. And if you want to quit smoking once and for all, there's a link in the description to book a call so we can handle the situation together. This is I2, and I know you're gonna make it.